What's up, fam? Check it out. It was a little discussion about being away from home, especially during holidays and celebrations and stuff like that. I mean, there's not really being away from home all the time, but this is kind of like the blessing and the curse of being a flight attendant. So, just give me a second. I'm going to take this off and get a little bit comfortable, and then we're going to discuss the good things and the bad things about being a flight attendant and being off and having to work on days that most people don't. Alright. How do I look? Kind of comfortable? I'm really about to go to sleep, so that's why. I know the sun's out and everything like that, but this is one of those trips that you do a red eye and you gotta go to sleep because you gotta get up later on tonight and go back to work. So, but let's talk about you want to talk about first the curse, or the blessing. It's kind of weird that I actually chose this side for a blessing where it's light, this side the curse where it's a little bit darker. Curse, blessing, which one? So let's talk about the curse of being a flight attendant, especially as a new hire flight attendant. It's not even straight, is it? It's not even about it. Anyway, so the curse of being a flight attendant is that you're gone a lot of the time. That you would really like to be home, especially when you first starting off, because you're on reserve. And being on reserve, you really have no control of your schedule except for kind of like the days you want off when you're bidding for your schedule, and hopefully you get those days off. But it's tough because you might have to work on holidays. It's almost guaranteed when you're first starting off you're going to be working Thanksgiving, you're going to be working Christmas, you're going to be working New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So those are because senior people who've been with the company for a while want those days off, and they've earned that right to have those days off for being with the company for so long. They really to actually get a schedule where they don't have to work those days. So when you're starting off, you're extremely lucky if you get a schedule where you're on reserve but you have those days off. So holidays are a luxury. You might not get your birthday off. You know what I mean? It depends on when your birthday is. You know what I'm saying? You might not get your spouse's or your significant other birthday off, or if you have children, you might not get their birthdays off. So it can be a sad time because you're like, I want to be there, and so you start planning for celebrations outside of those dates and just around them. It was, so let's take an example of this. So I work a ton of lot. I'm not on reserve. I have a line. I'm pretty senior in my base. I can have any schedule I want and everything like that. So April is when my daughter's birthday is, and I wasn't off. She's older, so she does her own thing. Pretty much, she did have a little get together celebration with her mom and her siblings and everything like that. But I was working. I worked, and so I wasn't able to go out and spend time with her. Now, I could, and I plan on definitely going out and spending some time with her and trying to take her out and enjoy having some time with her, and seeing celebrating her life and what joy she brings to me in my world. Now yesterday which is May 7th, was my mother's birthday, and I actually started this trip yesterday. Now I could have taken off. I was actually off. I just picked this trip up, but and that I could have went and seen her, but that's gonna go to the blessings in a second. But I didn't. So I decided to work and to make some extra money for my future trip that I'm coming on. Now, my birthday's coming up, and I'm actually off. I have vacation. I actually plan my vacations. I have 3 weeks of vacation, and so I actually plan to be off. Now, for the holidays like Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's Eve, the only one that really sticks out for me is Christmas. Thanksgiving, not too worried about it. I'm single. I don't have in my family we don't really do too much big on Thanksgiving, so it's not really worried about it. So Thanksgiving, blah. If it's a big celebration for you, then so. Christmas is a big celebration for my family, and what I do, I bid to work on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. And the only reason why I try to bid for that is because most of the time we have trips where I have a layover in Denver, and then I can get paid. I don't have to worry about trying to catch a flight or non-revenue to Denver and blah, blah, blah. I can just work my flight, get to Denver, enjoy my time with my family. Next day, leave, come back home within a couple of days or whatever, and still have time for myself, time for my family, and I get paid to eat with the fam. What's better than that, right? New Year's Eve, New Year's, I don't ever take off because I usually don't have anything to do. I usually don't go out to one of these celebrations and everything like that. Trying to go to New York City for it, not fun. Not trying to get there and it's cold. I know people who've gone to Paris for New Year's Eve and all that stuff, but maybe sometime in the future I will. So I mean, there's not really that many curse about it. I don't know. Maybe there is. Maybe because I'm a senior person and it's not that many bad points of trying to have off because I'm able to manipulate my schedule the way I feel. But the blessing of which a lot of people don't see. Once you get senior enough and everything, blessings of being a flight attendant around these times and these dates and celebrations is that you are able, no matter where the celebration is, you can go and attend because you can fly there. You have the ability to try to catch a flight on another airline or your airline or whatever like that and be able to go to a celebration. So my mother lives in Florida, so if I wanted to, I would fly down there, spend the day with her, and then fly back home. No cost off my back, just whatever I want to spend for my mom. Here's the reason why I didn't go see my mom this year on her birthdays, because lately I've been going to Florida every month. And it's not just for go there for a couple hours and leave. I've been going for at least 2 days into Florida every month because I work with the new hires also as they graduate, but that's a different story. But I'm always in Florida for a couple days, and I spend it with my parents. So I find that as a great blessing as being a flight attendant to be able to go there and spend time with my parents. Even though I live in Texas and they live in Florida, it doesn't matter. If my daughter wants to go somewhere, we can go somewhere. I have actually my sister on my benefits also, so the blessing was I was able to take my sister to Brazil for the first time in a long time. I think when she was like little. We're older now. She's never been. I've been a couple times, and so a couple years ago I was able to take her to Brazil. round trip for a week at least, and we had fun. We had a ball. That was like our first um, outing together as a travel outing as a siblings, um, and everything like that. It was a blessing when my mom could travel that I was able to send her back and forth to Brazil when she wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I was like, she was like, I want to go to Brazil. I'm like, all right, let me check the prices and everything. Like, well, let's do it, or check the dates and make sure that there's space for you, like that. Um, you know, my nephew is graduating this year from high school on the 21st. I'm going to be able to just, I don't have to worry about it. I'm like, just tell me when so I can have off, and I have off, and so now I'm gonna fly to Denver and be there for his graduation. I've been flipping a coin on this right now because my uncle had actually passed away last week or a couple weeks ago. No, about a couple weeks ago, because I was in Florida at the time when I found out my uncle had passed away, and it hit my dad really hard. So, and if anybody knows, especially in the black community, usually you don't usually have a funeral or memorial service right away. It's later. It's like weeks or months. It's like, so it's actually a month later from when he passed that we're going to have the memorial service. Now, the only dilemma I have is that the memorial service is in Atlanta on the 20th, and my nephew's graduating on the 21st, and he's graduating in the morning, and I'm not sure when the memorial service is for my uncle on the 20th. Now, if it's early in the day, maybe I can catch a flight from Atlanta to Denver and spend time with my nephew and everything like that, but still see my auntie and make sure she's okay, and make sure my dad's all right being going over to Atlanta for the memorial service and everything. But I'm able to make that choices, and that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? You're able to do these things without any regard or worries about how much it's going to cost, or if I'm not going to be able to get off work. I gotta ask. Like, we can pretty much make our own schedule, so I can see if I'm working that day and be like, all right, I need to get rid of this trip. I can either drop it or trade it to somebody else and whatnot and still be off. And I don't have to ask a supervisor or anything like that. So that's a good thing. But, when you're starting off, or say it's one of those holidays that you can't get off, that could be the curse, because then everybody's like, you're a flight attendant. Why can't you just get off? Why can't you just fly over here? Why are you always, it don't make no sense. You never home anyway. They just, people don't understand the lifestyle of a flight attendant. So, yes, a lot of times we're gone. Yes, we do take vacations a lot and go places. But we plan those things. A lot of times we plan them. Sometimes it's just spontaneous. I know, especially in Dallas, we have a spontaneous, group that will, like, hey, you know what? It's been cold in Dallas for a while. Who wants to go to Hawaii for a day or two? And we'll hop on a plane and go to Hawaii for a day or two and then come back. Or go to Florida for a day or two. Go to Cancun or something like that. So I know the cruises I've been doing, they're pretty much spontaneous, because we sit there and we look at website and figure out which cruise we want to do, and we find one with a great price and a good deal and everything like that. And we'll call each other up like, hey, we see this cruise, y'all want to do it? I'm trying to do it, and we'll do it. And then next thing you know, we're gone on a cruise. So, excuse me. So there is a curse and a blessing for having this job as a flight attendant, because you're cursed sometimes when you're starting off. You can't get off. You gotta work on certain days that you don't want to work and stuff like that. You got people saying that you should be able to do it when you can't, because they don't understand that you just can't ask off all the time. It's a blessing, because when you do have a seniority, or even when you're on reserve starting off, you might be able to have days off like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, you're able to travel as much as you want, as long as you know have the funds to do so and the means. Um, you don't have to live at home. You don't have to live in base. You can live somewhere else. I know when I started, there was a guy who was with us. He we were based in Fort Lauderdale, and he lived in Hawaii. And I'm not even talking about Big Island, Hawaii. He lived in a smaller island. So once he got to Hawaii, Honolulu, he had to take another flight. That's a long journey. I met a guy that worked um, for another airline. I was coming back from Brazil, and he was telling me, he's like, oh, I gotta sit here in the airport for 12 hours. I'm like, why? Why you gotta sit in the airport for 12 hours? Like, where's home? He's like, back in Brazil. He literally lived in Rio, but he worked for an American airline, not American Airlines, but an American Airlines, or should I say just a U.S. Airlines, and was based out of Texas. So he had to wait for the flight that goes back to Brazil 12 hours later after we arrived in. I know a couple people in our company live in Colombia. I know one guy, he's actually trying to go live in England and actually go to school in England and still work here. I know a girl, she met her significant other, and they're gonna live in, I think they live in England them right now, and so she commutes to Chicago. So that's a blessing. You can live anywhere you want to, as long as you're able to get back to work. You know what I'm saying? We have a ability to commute by airplane and not by car. I used to commute. From Fort Lauderdale to Dallas all the time. I did it for 9 months when I first transferred to Dallas, and then I was like, I'm tired of it. I want to move, so I moved to Dallas, and that's where I've been. Now, if the market was right in Denver, I would be living in Denver and just commuting to Dallas. But that's a blessing where you're able to move anywhere you want to and still hold your job without having to lose any pay or anything like that, or start from the bottom, from the learn new people. It's such a blessing. So there's good things and there's bad things about being a flight attendant. Both, starting off as far as trying to get off, missing holidays, missing birthdays, missing celebrations of life. That's bad stuff. But there's also great things that you're able to make those days, no matter where they are, pretty much in the world. So if you have a friend that's graduating in Japan, you can go. If you got a friend that's in Japan, I just got a friend. Actually, I was at work today, and I ran into a friend I haven't seen in a while, and I was like, "Yo, where you been? I didn't think you worked here anymore at the airport." And they were like, "Oh, I do. I just been working." I was like, "I haven't seen you." They're like, "Well, I've been here." And they were like, "You know what? Hey, you want to go to Vegas in July?" I was like, "All right, just tell me what the dates." And they gave me the dates, and so I'll probably be in Vegas in July, just chilling. So we'll know. We'll see. But yeah, so it reminds me, I need to go ahead and send this box off to my daughter for her birthday / just stuff I need to give her that I wanted to give her. Planning to go see my mom next week once I have finished these 2 trips, and then after that, I'm just going to go see my nephew graduate. So celebration time, huh? Let's do it. Alright then, guys, I gotta get some sleep because I gotta be up in about 10 hours less. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. I guess, I don't know. Thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Alright, peace out.